Hi, my name's Tom Shue, and today I'm going to show you how to use an ExpoDisk with a rangefinder hybrid Fuji X100 or X100S. Now, there was a gentleman inside a forum that I frequent who's having a problem with exposure. He's doing street photography and he's having to adjust all of his files when he gets back home. Now if you have the camera locked in aperture priority mode, if you're in a bright area it's going to underexpose, and if you're in a dark area it's going to overexpose. The camera just tries to measure to a neutral value. That's a different topic, but what he's trying to do is use the ExpoDisk like a light meter and take those settings that he gets when he uses the ExpoDisk and lock his camera in manual. And that will work if, say, he's on the side of the street and the sun is falling down and he's trying to shoot people that are on the same side of the street as him. This would work. Okay, so basically how it works is you want to set your camera in aperture priority mode. So put it on the A on the top dial and set a working aperture. We're just going to start at f2.8. Now the next thing you want to do is lock in ISO. Don't use the auto ISO because that can fluctuate. Just put it in at, say we're in a dark room, so it's not compared to a bright day, so we're going to set it at 1600. Now remember, if I take a picture and we're in aperture priority mode and it has motion blur, that means I need to increase my ISO because that controls the shutter speed. So in aperture priority mode, remember your ISO is your shutter speed. So with this set up in aperture priority mode f2.8, I'm going to take the ExpoDisk with the prisms facing away from the camera. I'm just going to hold it over the lens. Make sure you set your camera in manual focus or the camera will hump for focus because it doesn't have anything contrast to lock focus. So we're going to hold this like underneath of our chin or to the side of our face, and we're going to measure the light falling on us. Okay, so we'll take our shot. Now I've got the camera in silent mode and we took a shot, so I'll play back the shot, and it's basically a gray frame with a middle histogram. See, that's the way it works. It's trying to give us a middle value. So if you look at this histogram, it's in the middle. We're getting a proper exposure, and it's saying we need to be at f2.8 1/1600 at 1/100th of a second. So then all you'd have to do is set up your camera to 125th. We're trying to get to 100, so use your dial to get to your third stops. So we're at 125th, so we're going to go to the right and get to us 100, and we can take our shot. So say if I set the ExpoDisk down and I just put the camera up here, let's put this in autofocus mode, and I took a picture of myself, it's going to get a proper exposure. And there we have it. Let's take a look at that picture. And there you have the properly exposed image of myself. Now, this will work, but it's not optimal. What's optimal is the fact that you want to be able to override what the camera's telling you it's supposed to be. So if you know something's supposed to be solid white, if you turn the blinkies on in your camera and you just do a couple shots kind of chimping away and look to see when the thing in the scene is white, is blinking white, that's a warning saying, hey, you're going to overexpose. Stop right there and then just take pictures at that point because everything else will fall in place. Now if you don't have something white in the scene, you just kind of have to get close. Just override the camera based on the conditions you're in. You have to practice, and the more you practice, the more you'll be able to predict what the settings should be in the camera. White lives at a specific place over the middle value, and so does black. If you do some research and find out what's going on with exposure, it's pretty easy to do once you have the fundamentals under your belt. So I want to thank you all for taking time to visit my blog today, and until next time, we'll see you soon.